The daughter-in-law put a fake scar on her face. She originally wanted to use this to cheat money out of her mother-in-law. Unexpectedly, the mother-in-law found a piece of pig skin. She wanted to perform a skin graft operation on her with it. The daughter-in-law was immediately terrified and refused the skin graft. However, the mother-in-law forced people to hold her down for the surgery. This was because she already knew about the daughter-in-law's conspiracy. In her previous life, the woman was deceived by her daughter-in-law. She thought that the daughter-in-law was burned in a fire while saving her son, so she sold off all her property. She even took out loans to let the daughter-in-law take the money for treatment. Unexpectedly, the daughter-in-law eventually passed away anyway. The woman spent 20 years finally paying off all the loans. Unexpectedly, on her way home, she was hit by a car. It was then that she was shocked to find the person who hit her. It was actually her intact and unharmed daughter-in-law. What surprised the woman even more was, her husband was actually in the car as well. Only then did the woman realize that her daughter-in-law and husband had colluded a long time ago. They even used a fake death to cheat her out of all her money. Seeing that the woman was dying, the husband stopped pretending. He told the woman that he and the daughter-in-law had been a couple all along. He had originally married the divorced woman, and the daughter-in-law married his son, all just to seize her family's property. Unexpectedly, their secret was discovered by the son. That was why the daughter-in-law had to set a fire to kill him. Learning the truth, the woman eventually died with hatred, but she did not expect that in the next second, the woman actually reincarnated and returned to the day just after the fire. At this time, her husband was still beside her, urging her to repay the daughter-in-law because she had been seriously injured while saving their son. The woman wished she could expose these two scumbags immediately, but she felt that doing so would be letting them off too easily, so she put on a look of feeling sorry for her daughter-in-law and promised that she would definitely treat her. However, she turned around and brought several doctors over, planning to use a piece of pig skin for the daughter-in-law's skin graft. Seeing this, the daughter-in-law was instantly frightened. She quickly said that she did not want a skin graft. However, the woman deliberately loudly boasted about the daughter-in-law's heroic act of saving her son, insisting on repaying the daughter-in-law in this way. Hearing this, the onlookers were also very moved. They also thought that the daughter-in-law did not want the surgery temporarily because of the pain of losing her husband, so they all helped hold her down for the surgery. The daughter-in-law had to pretend to be unconscious to muddle through. Seeing this, the woman had to let her go for the time being. After all, the real show was yet to come. Sure enough, shortly after the woman left, the daughter-in-law found her husband to discuss countermeasures. She was worried that the woman would continue with the skin graft, so she decided to advance the fake death plan. She also wanted to take out a loan of 10 million yuan in the woman's name. Once she died, the debt would all fall on the woman's head. Little did they know that their plan was heard clearly by the woman outside the door, but the woman did not expose them. Instead, she waited for the daughter-in-law to successfully get the 10 million yuan and enter a state of suspended animation by relying on an injection. Only then did the woman show up, pretending to be sad. She wanted to personally hold a funeral for her daughter-in-law. Seeing her crying so sadly, the husband thought she had been fooled. However, the woman took advantage of his unpreparedness. She quietly took the daughter-in-law to her hometown and changed her into festive wedding clothes. The husband came looking and realized something was wrong when he saw the scene, but the woman explained. She had sold the daughter-in-law to a man who had just died. She wanted the two to be buried together so they would not be lonely. The husband angrily shouted that the woman was crazy. He immediately